You're listening to an East Coast Guild podcast. Check us out at eastcoastguild.com. Yeah, you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Organization 2. It's been a couple weeks, and we're sorry about that. We are now pretty much just going to be using KH13 for looking up articles and stuff like that and talking about stuff. We also put it out on Twitter, and we asked, hey, if you guys want us to do a podcast, what would you guys want it to be about? Does it have to be about just Kingdom Hearts? And you guys are like, no. And so I was like, cool. So we are going to mix it up. It'll be probably about a couple of different things. I know when I finally get Sando to sit down and start watching through Star Wars, we're going to talk about that on here too. So that way he can give his reactions and stuff like that. So we are watching live on my YouTube currently, which you guys can see down below. And if you guys have any questions about Kingdom Hearts, we will gladly have a segment of our time where we can basically answer those questions that get asked in the chat in the live stream. Now, this is only going to be happening until Glimish opens. Once Glimish opens, we will be switching over to there, and my link will be easy to find from the East Coast Guild site, or if you're in my Guilded, because we are going to be moving away from Discord. The Guilded will be in the description below, I hope, and everything else. So, without further ado, I'll make sure it's in the show notes. So, also, I would like to thank our new sponsor, East Coast Guild. Thank you guys so much. East Coast Guild, small business getting ready to start up in the next 7 months up in Pittsburgh. So really cool guys running it. If you guys have a chance, as you guys heard in the intro, go check it out at eastcoastguild.com.
Yep. Sadly, I'm not wearing my East Coast Guild merch right now, mostly because it's dirty, but it's here.
I'm wearing it, and then you just won another founder shirt from East Coast Guild through my giveaway for Extra Life.
I have to determine what I want, but
yes. Well, you could get the Halloween or the Christmas, because
I forgot about the Halloween one.
The Halloween and the Christmas one are still up. Pi also won one, and he put up he wants the general logo. So
okay.
Which, by the way, guys, again, go check them out. Awesome people. We have two articles today that we were looking at, and that we were already discussing one of them in pretty lengthy detail in the car while we were going and doing stuff around town today. So I'm excited about this for the most part. It's nice to like talk about KH and stuff like that. Oh, hi, I'm Kilohmz. I'm the voice with a beard, and Sando over there is the bald
Sando,
voice.
Who's the balding man who looks like he's in his mid 30s, 40s, but it's not.
Exactly, 100%.
I'm currently dealing with dog on the side.
I never turned you down. I don't think you're too loud though.
We'll find out.
I'm turning you down to 173 anyway. All right, so if you guys get to see us, you guys are watching live, or you guys are watching the video on YouTube or on eastcoastguild.com, you guys will get to see our faces. So hello. If you guys would like to be here live again, the link is basically youtube.com/Kilohmz for the live
Are you
content.
Trying to be a lapdog?
She is a lapdog.
You bashed your head on my desk.
She's 100% a lapdog. Don't change my mind.
She's a little bit into the camera.
She is. Who cares? Dogs are adorable. That gets us views.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
no, you can't have that.
Again, both of these articles were found on kh13.com. Probably going to use a lot of that from there, because that seems to be the most active Kingdom Hearts site. It's not like Star Wars, where I can literally, search Star Wars news and get 4,000 different articles each week. And still have other stuff I need to talk about, because the thing is that that's such an expansive universe. I can theory craft my butt off, even with Legends or with canon. So, whereas this is a lot more restricted, and that's actually going to be one of the points that we make later in a sub point to this first article. So the first article was Utada Hikaru's albums First Love and Hasukoi. I probably said that wrong. Are inspiring a new Netflix series. So Netflix has announced an original series called First Love, inspired by Utada Hikaru's, who is the soundtrack that's the sound, the voice behind all the music for Kingdom Hearts, like the main songs like Sanctuary, Dearly Beloved.
She did the majority of the themes.
She did.
She didn't do all of it. There were also a lot of other directors for music and whatnot.
There were, but they worked with her. She was the voice.
Yeah. She was the voice, they were the music.
Simple and clean. So this announcement is being met with enthusiasm by many Kingdom Hearts fans who have naturally come to admire Utada, her other work outside the theme songs, and their many, many, many iterations that she has performed through the series. I don't know what to say to that one, chat. Congrats.
Yeah.
The new scripted series is now in production and is set to launch worldwide in 2022. Utada's First Love album was released in 1999, setting her up for setting her up for being one of the most renowned Japanese musicians of her time, and becoming the best-selling album in Japan to date. Hasukoi in Japanese means first love. It was released in 2018, setting it almost a decade apart from First Love. Netflix has drawn inspiration from these albums and has fittingly written a series about the first love of a young couple from their first meeting in the 90s through to today. Really cool thing, not Kingdom Hearts really related.
Mm-hmm. It's just the connection of, hey, this is what she did. There's also other stuff going on.
Exactly. So it's pretty much just that she wrote the songs for Kingdom Hearts, and she's just very popular. Everybody loves her music and stuff like that. It's not bad.
Yeah,
like it's good stuff.
Also,
I've enjoyed her
also
music.
written several songs for like dramas, anime films, and of course, the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Yeah.
But her latest album, Hatsukoi, also featured the song Chikai, which is one of the main themes from KH3.
Yep.
And I feel like that's part of the reason it caught so much attention.
It caught a lot of attention because Kingdom Hearts 3 has been very prevalent it was very prevalent. Well, we're almost 2 years in.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Like 13 days or something like 16? Came out on the 23rd?
Yeah.
The 20 or the 20th.
I don't know, man. Dude, I can barely remember how old I am.
It came out on the 25th. So
okay,
18 days and it'll be 2 years since KH3 came out.
Jeez. Yeah.
Already. Like I 100%ed that game when it came out.
Yeah. Same.
So that was
I have yet to 100% a Critical playthrough, but I also haven't touched Critical in a long time.
I didn't really touch Critical. I was like, I'm good. I beat it on proud mode on my first playthrough. I think the last time that I touched Critical was when I played it on your stream. Mm-hmm.
And that was a while back.
It was. And now it's all... I have it all on Xbox and I haven't played it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But it also feels very different in comparison. So,
yeah. But one of the other things with seeing a Netflix series with Utada's hit songs has really nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts except for her music. But again, that's still probably not going to tie in. I was reading through the comments and someone had mentioned whatever happened to the KH animated series that was planned or was leaked into as they were doing development from Disney Plus. That which I read into was from March 2020. They are going to be. This plan was Disney Plus wanted to do a sort of TV series of Kingdom Hearts. I didn't know if they wanted to follow up behind Kingdom Hearts 3 or just the series in general. But because Square is a part of it, Square is like, hey, you're not doing anything without us.
I mean, the smart part about it would be to have it connect back to... like the stuff before with the foretellers and basically run a whole series off that movie. Like, that would be probably the best way to do it because there's a lot of room for more, as well as like the before time for them. And you could basically take the Unchained, you could take Union Cross and turn it into this whole huge series that's animated. Which, I'll be honest, I would love that. I would love an animated series about that, but like I was telling you earlier, I was like, live action cannot happen.
Yeah.
Like live action Kingdom Hearts, live action Final Fantasy, it just doesn't work. It's just not something that works, you know?
Yeah. What I read was initially 2002, 2003, after KH1 got so much big monetization, not monetization, but big traffic and whatnot, Disney wanted to do an animated series at the time. But Square, since, again, being a part of, tied along with it, said, hey, don't do anything without us, and they were too busy with other projects they had at the time.
Well, yeah, because they had to take people from the Final Fantasy VII remake team to get KH3 out on time.
Yeah.
And so they were working on that to get that out on time for the release date. And then they took that team and I think most of the KH3 team and pushed them back onto the remake to finish it up.
Yeah, but after KH3 coming out, Disney is like, hey, we have Disney Plus. We're going to try and push for this again. And Square, again, stopped up and said, all right, we will allow it, but let us do the pilot. And they started doing the pilot in Unreal Engine, Unity, Unreal Engine, whatever it is. But that was leaked or mentioned around March, and nothing has come from it since then. But the little bit of information that did come out was like, hey, Disney is reaching out to former the Disney voice actors for like specific characters here and there. Like, hey, we would like for you to be doing stuff here and there. From what I recall reading and finding was one of them, either Disney or Square, I didn't find the exact information as to which one it was, wanted to do it live action, and the other was 100% against it. My guess is probably Disney wanting to do it live action.
Yeah, if Disney switched it to being a live action, I would probably be like, no, don't ever touch me or my child again. Because, like, just be honest with that one. That one's just like, I couldn't justify or get behind a live action Kingdom Hearts. The characters don't look real.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't. And
also,
to
if you
turn
try
those
doing
people
it
into
live action with
actors,
Donald
like
and Goofy,
oh my
I understand
gosh.
you doing that on Unreal, but still.
Well, they still look like animated. You know, it's like doing like it's like Jimmy Neutron. You know, like Jimmy Neutron works because it's real-ish.
Yeah.
And it's like how a lot of those things that have been coming out are like they're real-ish, but they're not.
If they did a quote unquote real, the closest I would let them do is the cinematic stuff from 2. From KH2.
Oh no,
like
not
intro and outro.
They could do even better than that. I'd allow better than that. I'd allow the Unchained, like the before story, the movie that did come out.
That's true.
Like if they did the movie that did come out, if they did it in that same style, that'd be perfectly fine. As long as, like, again, it was written by the staff. Like if it's not written by that staff, then that's kind of a problem. It's just kind of, I guess it's the way it goes, you know, but so that was like our first piece of interesting news, and gave us a little bit of a side talk. This might be a shorter podcast I'm looking at.
This might be a shorter podcast also because a couple minutes ago I realized I'm getting puppy dog eyes, and we forgot to feed.
You want to run down? I'll introduce the next interview and kind of start talking and read through it real quick, and then by the time you're back, I should be ready. We can talk about it because you've already read it, like you were supposed to.
Yeah, actually, I did read it today.
I know. So
I did a good boy.
I read it the other day. So if you want to go feed them real quick, I'll just do this real quick and start it off.
Yeah, I'll bring food up here with her.
Awesome. All right, so Dengeki interview with Tetsuya Nomura about Melody of Memory and the future of the Kingdom Hearts series. Dengeki recently conducted an interview with Tetsuya Nomura, which is the creator of Kingdom Hearts, if you did not know, on Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, or MOM. That's what I'm going to refer to it as, and what to expect from the series in the near future. You can read the interview below, and they translated it by their team on KH13. So basically, it was talking about the objective in creating a Kingdom Hearts-esque rhythm game and talking to him about that. So the first thing that started off the interview went, both the game and the official soundtrack came out within the same time frame. Please tell us what kind of request you made to Indie Zero, known for developing the Theater Rhythm series, when developing Mom. Nomura said their proposal in a few words can be described as Theater Rhythm Kingdom Hearts Edition. However, I didn't want it to be a carbon copy of the Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy game and then slap a KH moniker on top of it. So Nomura goes on to say that he asked Indie Zero to combine the action of Kingdom Hearts with the rhythm game. And as you can imagine, it was a lot of trial and error, lots of testing, because it's complicated to put those two things together and make something like that to have it meld nicely. They also wanted to make the game not look too flashy, so that way people wouldn't feel sick when they were seeing the game. And so the interview goes on to say, I see there are Keyblade strikes and magic, so you can really feel like you're actually playing the game. And Nomura said he's glad that you noticed that because that was the objective. Like they created this whole game to basically be a Kingdom Hearts feeling game, and you get that rhythm action as well with it. So you kind of get that. It's, Guitar Hero, Dance Dance Revolution, right? Like all these rhythm type games that all have their different uniquenesses to them, that then gets the KH spin onto it that makes it its own. So, you're pressing your different buttons to get it to activate, and yet Sora is swinging a Keyblade around and casting magic on out for people as well. The interviewer then went on to ask, Kairi will play a especially important role as this game's storyteller. Can you elaborate more on that? Nomura goes on to say, in the game story, Kairi will recap the entire Kingdom Hearts series so far in a way that even newer players can easily digest. However, it is impossible to get the most intricate of details. So if you're curious about certain parts of the story, go back and play that game for itself. Which, in wonderful Nomura fashion, he did the same thing with Chain of Memories. He did the same thing with Coded. Pretty much, hey, here's a quick kind of idea about the game, and here's the entire storyline. But if you want the actual full-on details and want to experience that game, you had to play that game, which has been something that's been very notoriety for Nomura. Like, people like and dislike about him is that this game series has been across multiple different platforms, and he's basically forcing them to play it across multiple different platforms until the complete series came out. So the idea of giving everybody the story of Kingdom Hearts, but not giving all the details and probably missing some key major details is very Nomura fashion. And it's actually kind of fitting, but it also means that if you're a regular KH fan, you probably don't even have to buy Mom. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just literally move on with your life and hope that somebody on YouTube puts down the hidden ending. So that way you get to see it. Which I'm sure it's already up there if there is a hidden ending. And if Melody of Memory doesn't have a hidden ending, there's probably no reason in actually playing or buying it if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, because the thing is, secret ending. So is there a secret ending?
From Mom, I have no idea.
There is an ending to it. Yes, there is. So there is some type of ending. I don't know that it's actually solid thing. I'll have to look at that later. I'll have to watch that later and find out. Because maybe I'll actually play Mom then. I
haven't looked into that, so I don't know.
It's an interesting game. Anyway, the interviewer then goes, the game contains a total of 140 songs. Were any songs personally suggested by you? Nomura goes, no, not really. He's basically, no, none in particular. I guess my initial request was put in as many songs as possible. I don't want there to be DLC, which is fair.
Which I do appreciate.
Well, it's also this literally is a side game.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's Chain of Memories without any actual story. It seems, other than Kairi's reliving the entire story. So it's
yeah.
So that's the big thing there, which is nice. So I don't know if you have anything you want to add to the melody of memory part. I'm actually more interested to the looking ahead part.
I am too, although I am, like I said, really happy he didn't want to do it in a like a DLC format of like, hey, this is what you get. If you wanted something else, I'm sorry, but go through and play the old games if you want that content. Honestly, if you want that music,
it's very generic of him.
Mm-hmm. But it's also at the same time when I
so
think it was
I just Google searched it real quick.
You're good. When he released Mom, and at the same time they dropped the music for KH3, or the soundtrack rather. I don't know. Of course, I haven't played Mom, so I don't know if any of the music from KH3 is in Mom.
I believe it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Also,
it would make sense.
By the way, Screen Rant puts up Kingdom Hearts things, so we might also be able to pull stuff from there too. I see one that I actually want to talk about.
If I recall, Screen Rant had some of the stupid ones.
Oh yeah, they do. I love it. So there is no secret ending to Melody of Memory. So there is, there is no secret ending to it. The last game that had a secret ending was pretty much just, yeah, no, I don't, nothing I'm seeing. Like, I'm going to the Reddit right now. Yeah, game doesn't have a secret ending, so that stinks. It's like no reason to get it. So looking ahead into the future, the interviewer goes, all right, so let's talk about a future outlook for the series. With KH3, the Seekers of Darkness saga being ended, and there's still a lot of mystery that surrounds the characters. Basically asking if there's a bunch of stuff. And Nomura, of course, in wonderful Nomura fashion, is like, yes, of course there's mystery. I wouldn't write a game without there being mystery around these characters, because if you guys have played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, that's not how he is. The man's like, he's a mad genius.
He's mad.
Yes.
He has genius moments, but he's also just mad.
Well, have you seen how he interacts with the Kingdom Hearts community? His Facebook page, he'll be like, guys, if you keep complaining, I will cancel KH3. He said that a month before release.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
he's the main director, so who knows how much power he actually can. But
oh gosh, you know how ticked Sony would be? Or not Sony, how ticked Square would be?
Square, yeah.
Like, you did what now? Because somebody asked you a question on Facebook? You don't answer to them.
They're the spam.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I saw that Chad asked a question, and I'm going to help them figure it out on their own. So there's a calculator website. Go to it. So the interviewer.
This is nice.
Basically, so Nomura goes, yeah, in the near future, he plans on changing how the story's told. So basically, he's going to change the structure to be told in a way that it can grab all the pending mysteries. So in other words, it sounds like he's about to Skyrim Kingdom Hearts.
Like there's a lot of stuff planned, and we're working on it, but we're also gonna, black hole it. So one thing will lead into another, which will lead on to another, to alternate universe almost.
Pretty much. And so it's like you could go through and get all this story if you find it. And I think that knowing him, he is probably going to go through and basically, if you find the stuff, you find it. And I don't think it's going to be like Xemnas reports though. Like, I don't think it's going to be text.
Have a question, because I can't remember the exact phrase that it was in KH3. Well, it's in Remind, where it's the whole premise behind Remind. If you haven't played it, this kind of gives away a little bit of information about it, and I do apologize. So the power that Sora is using to fix stuff.
Yes.
In the event that he's using that to fix it, he does it for what goes on. I'm trying to be very vague about this.
Remind's been out for a year. If you're listening to this podcast and you haven't played and finished Remind, that is on you. Sora does a drop thing, basically like a dream drop, where he goes to like Kingdom Hearts heaven to find Kairi and basically bring her back from like her heart being shattered, basically taking that away. And that's it. Like that's what they did. So
my question was going into it can Sora go further back and no, because he already used that power. He can't do anything. My question is, would Nomura be willing to make it be alternate universe stuff with more time travel?
No. There has not been a single thing that has been used to suggest that there are alternate timelines. There's the data timeline and there's the main timeline. With the data timeline isn't even a separate timeline. It's just what happened after like a calamity happened. And then we went into like the data era, right? So like, you could say that the data universe is connected. Thank you, Sansoru. If the data world is connected, like, and it moves alongside, like, parallel-wise, but it's not a different timeline. It's just, like, it's a world that they haven't been to. Because I don't think it's, like, an actual separate timeline.
No, from what I recall with the data is just, hey, we tapped into Sora's mind, and this is what we can find, sort of. But at the same time, it's weird. Because that's what the Garden of Assemblage is in Sora's mind, according to Sid.
Yeah, that's how. Well, that's like his memories and stuff like that to hopefully pull him back.
Yeah.
God, imagine that being your memories. Like, dude, I'd hate that.
In order for us to find out what happened to you as a child, you must beat up the man.
Like, to know why your body just disappeared from existence, we gotta go beat some dudes up.
How about we ask this dude who has very pink hair and a large weapon? Kill?
Oh no. If I appear with the scythe, I've become Marluxia.
Sadly, you don't have your Buster Blade with you.
My gosh. By the way, chat, this is a teen-rated stream. If you're looking for wholesome moments, go back home and watch Barney, okay?
No. If you're looking for wholesome moments, watch the dog.
Like, come on. If you guys are going to come into chat and ask questions that are silly, and you know they're silly because they're memes, and somebody memes back at you, oh no. Like,
I get hurt.
It okay. It be fine. All right. God. I'm actually really excited for it. I'm actually really excited for it. I'm hoping though that it is kind of like very open worldy. Now note, I don't know how open world Kingdom Hearts would be because nothing is like that. You know, like we haven't had a storyline like that where you have a completely open spot to go and you can go and like gather quests. But I'm hoping that it actually ends up being like that because that'd be a really cool Kingdom Hearts game. Like going and gathering quests from different worlds and then having to go complete them and stuff like that. Like you know, give me a KH MMO. Maybe I'll play MMOs for once.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, but not a point and click. Like I need one that I can control. You know, like I have to be able to do the fighting style and everything.
So which type of open world are you thinking? Like Breath of the Wild open?
Yeah.
Or in order to get to different sections and areas,
well,
it would be you have to fight the end boss or like I would say organization member, but
thing is,
Darkness Saga's over.
The way that it goes is the way.
Thank you, Sensor.
I was ready for that one. The best way, the way it goes, I think that would work would be basically like it would be like Breath of the Wild, right? Exactly like it. So you want to run straight to the final boss, you can, but it's a bad idea and you're gonna miss all the story.
Well, my other question is if that's the sort of you have one main map,
I don't think it'd be one main map.
Disney stuff.
I don't think it would be one main map. The thing is, I think it would be. You know what would be really cool is if they almost took the idea from Wreck-It Ralph, where everything was connected through like these tunnels. Like they basically had trains or easy connections to get to each world.
Tron is the hub world.
But basically having gummy ship travel.
Yeah.
Where everything's already connected and you can just move back and forth between them. That would be preferable because then it's like think about like I would think Skyrim style.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to take the cart to get to the different worlds, to get to the different cities. You can't walk to the city. You have to take either that or it's you can
go all the way up to the walls of the city. But you
Yeah.
have to take the cart in order to enter the city, which in Gummy that would be fighting the boss for the world, like it is in
Well, and if you got
KH3.
outside of the wall of one of the worlds, you'd either have to be on the cart, or you have to either be in a gummy ship, or you would have to be like how do they do it? They, like riding your Keyblade.
Yeah.
Birth by Sleep style. So you have to do it either one of those two ways. But then you could also have it be like the movement system, like in KH3, where
I thought it was something funny.
Basically, you're moving between those. I think a mix of KH3, but having all the worlds in one hub, and then basically being able to go anywhere to get the different quests. That'd be
so. I thought of for world map travel gummy ship wise. Beat the game once, or you go and do side mission collectibles that are here and there, and you have like Sora, whoever the next main character is, they have a cosmetic costume that they're riding their Keyblade in an astronaut suit.
Are you having trouble with words there?
I am. I'm having trouble with words here, way more than I probably should.
I think that would be a great way to go about it, though. That would, be good. I honestly don't. Oh, that's okay. That's your question. I understand now. I get it. It's about Thomas the Tank Engine. I was like, "Who's the better Green Train?" And I was like, "What?"
The Green Train. The left arm of the Hulk or the right arm of the Hulk? Percy or Henry?
I saw the word Henry and I just went, Henry Cavill? like I was like, The Witcher? He was better as The Witcher than he was as Superman, so there's that.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So
especially better when he said he wanted to take a break to play games.
Oh god. You'll love it. So the interviewer then goes on to ask as we continue to
We did it.
We went down a rabbit hole. Woohoo!
Yep.
If in Dark Road, you delve into the past of Xehanort. Does that mean we'll see more of him? Nomura. No.
No. I mean, with Nomura, he's like, well, Dark Road wasn't like a project he was looking to like tie in with other stuff. It's just, this is what's here. This is what happened.
It's like, hey, I gave you a book series. You liked it so much. Now I'm going to give you the prequel of the bad guy so you understand why they're a bad guy.
Yeah. Nomura does say that you do see, like, Nomura's like, Xehanort died in the end of KH3, straight up. But you do see parts of him here and there because of Mom through Kyrie's point of view. Outside of that, it's not a definite yes or no that he's going to be in future titles. Maybe it's a flashback, honestly, depending on how far in future titles it goes. Like timeline between KH3 and other future titles. But he straight up says, no, I don't think he's going to be a main antagonist or a main boss.
Well, no, and he shouldn't be, because the thing is, one, he was redeemed. Okay.
Yeah.
So he went through his redemption arc. He's good again. Like I would say that he's not bad anymore. Like it was almost like his Sith eyes, right? So like in Star Wars, you got the yellow eyes, you're the Sith kind of thing. Like his Sith eyes were gone.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Not to mention, he then passed his Keyblade on to Sora. Note, Nobody has ever passed Keyblade on the Sora, and that was like the only way to become a Keyblade wielder was to have somebody bestow the Keyblade upon you.
True.
And you know what Keyblade got bestowed upon that man?
Yep.
The Keyblade.
Yeah, that's part of the part. That's like, well, what happens now?
Yeah. So I'm interested because Sora literally became the strongest being in the universe to remove himself from the universe, which sets it up for him to not have any powers come KH4, which was the point.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
or like one idea that I've seen here and there is like foretellers come back, and Sora joins them.
foretellers are back.
True.
The foretellers are back. Secret ending at KH3. It's been out for almost 2 years.
Yes. With the secret ending, one of the members is gone because the Master of Masters tells, because of what happens and other stuff, say, hey, go up and do this.
Yep.
And they don't see her. Sora, there's a theory I've seen, Sora will take her place and become one of the foretellers.
Because she's dead.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. She got indisposed by Lushu.
Yep. I couldn't remember Lushu's name.
Oh.
I just kept saying Zigbar in my head. I'm like, that's not who it is.
Oh. Okay, we need to talk about that.
Sora takes
we need to talk about that in another time. Holy crap. I was not prepared for that. Okay. Dang, man. Oh, that's fair. All right. So the interviewer then goes on to say, one of the main no, that's the point of the podcast.
I know.
In all honesty, I don't honestly want to get to the third part of this interview because I don't think it's going to be as interesting, and we're going to probably fill up the time with this part. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that other part. I'll be honest.
We don't need that other part. The other part, we'll link the articles in the show notes if you guys want to read the articles. The last part's about the soundtrack being etched forever in history. Yes, just simply yes, it is. It's a wonderful soundtrack. The Kingdom Hearts soundtrack is spectacular. Yes.
I will say at the end of the interview, Nomura does talk about good stuff, but we'll get to that in a second.
He talks about anyway.
So
one of the main perks of Kingdom Hearts is how it always sets the atmosphere for a continuation. Is that something you commonly think of when you develop the game? Example, when developing KH1, did you anticipate the existence of Sora's Nobody? He goes, whenever I think of a story, Nomura says, whenever I think of a story, I try to make it as extensive as possible. For example, when developing KH1, I was thinking of its sequel, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Yep.
KH2 was not the sequel to KH1.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over my roommate yelling about it, KH1.
So, just to be a reminder for all those people that are like, I don't play the side games. Lies and slander. This game was developed specifically after 1 for the purpose of relating back to 1.
All right, now that Kale's had his little conniption, Nomura does say, however, it's like everything he thought of didn't come true. Like he wanted certain things to appear, and some things didn't. That's why there's other future games. And KH2, which is the true sequel. And one such case, KH Dark Road.
Dark Road is the sequel. Dark Road is the sequel.
Where in Dark Road's case, he hasn't really put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. Like, but the thing is, the sequence that he has made for the games, they are directly connected. And every Kingdom Hearts hardcore fan, I'll say a fan, you're a big enough fan that you played all the games, because I feel like there are different levels. There's like the hardcore fan, but they only played 1 and 2, and then they're confused about 3, and you're like, how are you a hardcore fan? But like they have tattoos of Kingdom Hearts on their body, and you're like, what?
I don't know, man. Just weird.
Geeky saying Empire is the best Star Wars movie isn't even really a hot take. It's true. It is one of the best Star Wars movies. Definitely a strong franchise though, but I'll talk about it. Sando won't.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. So just that's a big thing, which is really exciting. So KH2 started on the PlayStation 2 system. However, there were no releases to the PS3 or to the PS Vita. Lies and slander. 1.5 and 2.5. I know he's saying other than the remasters.
Yes.
Why wasn't there such a jump to new hardware? I had some Nomura. I had some foggy ideas to release new titles on the PS3 and the Vita, especially since the Vita, for a portable console, packed quite the beefy hardware and could stand up to the task. However, those plans were never fully materialized because Final Fantasy Versus 13 took up too much of my time.
Yep. Which, I'll be honest, none of us are surprised by that, but I am happy to hear that Nomura admitted to it.
He's like, I just don't have enough. They like me too much for everything. I don't have enough time.
I screwed up, guys. I'm sorry. I'll take the bullet, but I'm sorry. To which the interviewer then goes on, it's like, well, are you going to, take advantage of the more powerful technology like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S?
Nomura,
and
maybe.
I mean, we would love if Kingdom Hearts console continues.
Game Pass,
we would love for that.
Game Pass works for the Xbox Series X. Kingdom Hearts is on Game Pass.
God, but at the same time, you're not going to get something within the first year because I don't think they're in development of stuff. But it's like they're nowhere.
We have heard nothing about the next Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah,
there has been nothing about it because they have been focusing on the remake. The FF7 remake has been all of Nomura's time because he is basically redoing the entire timeline for the trilogy of the trilogy of Final Fantasy 7.
Although knowing Nomura, he'll probably be like, "Hey, we're not going to do anything this year. We're not going to put out anything. Oh, by the way, it's by the end of the year, and I'm going to surprise you with all this and just throw something at us."
Yeah, and it's going to be some crappy update to the mobile games that nobody's going to play.
It's going to be another branch instead of Dark Road.
Yes, because we need to add
Light Highway.
Dude, I was so mad that was part of the same application. I was livid. I was like, what do you mean you guys combine? And then you only get rewards if you log into one of them instead of the other?
Yeah.
I was mad. I was like, this is the jankiest system I have ever seen.
It's like I've told Kill about when I started doing Dark Road. I was like, all right, sweet. I'll use my I think I was using my Facebook or something.
Yeah.
But I had gone back to Unchained. I was like, sweet, you'll do this. Oh, I lost my account. Well, I'll just start a new one. Okay, no big deal. And then a week later, it was like, we lost that account too. Why? Oh, we're no longer affiliated with Facebook, which you had to sign in through Facebook. So I'm like, I'm not going to bother with it at this point. Yeah. If I want to find out stuff, I'm just going to look it up.
Which it's honestly, that's the easiest way to go about it. All right, so I'm gonna go through really quickly
the soundtrack action section.
First request. So, in all honesty, I'll be honest. The only thing I really care about it is his final comment.
Yeah, that's straight up
because the final comment. So he talks about how awesome the composers were for Kingdom Hearts 3 and for everything like that. How good they were for Dissidia. How good they were for The World Ends With You. He loved them. Which is great. Yeah. They were awesome. They carry so much emotion and all these things. Definitely worth the read. Again, it'll be in the show notes. I'm putting it in my chat right now if you guys want to go read it. So that's also something that's completely fine if you guys want to go do that. But we're going to go through with his final comment.
Is Nomura's final comment. The interview is like, all right, give us a wrap. Something wraps the whole thing up. We're happy to hear something. And Nomura goes on to say, we're happy to have managed to release Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory and the Cage 3 soundtrack at the same time. Or still releasing it, both him and the team hope that all players enjoy it. After release of Mom, the series will probably take a little break. No announcements or anything new until 2022.
We're getting something for the 20th anniversary.
Yep, he's planning on something for the 20th anniversary.
It'll be nice.
Knowing him, he's going to be like, hey, by the way, guys, it's July of 2021. We're doing stuff in case you guys forgot about it.
No, he won't. He won't. He'll be like, oh, guys, it's December 30th. He'll be like, guys, it's December 31st of 2022. Here's a new game. Yeah. He's like, oh, it's 11:59 on the East Coast of America on December 31st at 11:59:59. By the way, here's a new game or an announcement. Because that's the guy he is.
we're gonna see something on Twitter like, "Hey guys, I just got somebody just be like, hey, I just got hired as a voice actor for Square and Disney at the same time. Gee, I wonder what that's about."
Gee, I wonder what that's about. Like, find out more. Summer season later, of 2025.
Because Nomura doesn't like me anymore now.
Find out more next. Like, you guys think Dragon Ball Z is long? Like, good lord, this series. The payoff isn't even worth how long we have to wait sometimes.
No.
14 years and people were livid about 3. No, they were all
also other things.
They were also super duper crybabies about 3. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But like, oh man.
If you're waiting that long to play a game, are you? No, I'm not gonna say it against
Half-Life 3 is still waiting. So.
Oh yeah, well, I'm still waiting forever on that, man. That's not gonna happen because he just straight up said it's not gonna happen.
Did you know Firefly's actually getting a Firefly's actually gonna get a thing? Like they're getting a new series. Yeah.
God.
I saw something about that. I was like, oh, maybe now I'll go back and watch Firefly.
Probably not.
I was like, I had no reason to before because I knew I was gonna like it because I love Nathan Fillion.
I know. When are we going to get Nathan Drake again?
I could live without more Nathan Drake. I'll be honest.
I know you don't like him.
I don't dislike. I liked the story of the Uncharted series.
Yes.
But playing the Uncharted series 10 years after they came out
hurt.
Was not worth anybody's time.
I can't remember. Did they make a live action movie based off of it? Because I know
they were going. They're in development, and the new Spider-Man, the guy who plays the new Spider-Man, I blinked on his name.
What's his? Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Thank you. I was like, it was that, or I was gonna wait for Geeky to yell at me for not knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. There, I told you. He was the one who was going to put it in. So Tom Holland is supposed to be working with a company on doing a Nathan Drake.
Okay.
And working on an Uncharted, which he'd be a great Nathan Drake.
I can't remember who they were going to use, but they wanted to try and pull in the people from like the second Uncharted, because all the people in the second one were based off of actual people or actual actors and whatnot for voiceovers.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's already in filming. I thought I had seen something on it. So, my gosh, what is going on with my mouse? It like just stops working for 2 minutes. Anyway,
I don't know, man.
So, this is a little bit shorter. We're about 10 minutes shorter than usual. Whatever.
It's our first podcast in like months.
Yeah, it is. It's bad
between the two of us. We need to get back to doing it.
Yes, we need to get back to doing
better
it.
At finding good stuff to talk about and go on tangents with.
Both the things here were pretty awesome. So again, go check out both of these interviews that we checked out. Really awesome stuff. Again, go check out East Coast Guild if you guys want to support them through there, and you guys can support this podcast by supporting them. Go buy merch and stuff through them. We'll probably actually have. Maybe
I was looking to see if I had
stuff.
East Coast merch on my desk, and I don't.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at getting some stuff made up and put up on the Redbubble at East Coast Guild. So,
yeah.
That being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay awesome, do great things, and we will see you guys in next week's podcast. If you're here at the live stream, we're playing games afterwards, so don't run away. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Adios.
See ya.